Palworld has taken the world by storm. It sold more than 6 million copies and it became the most played Steam game ever. I don't think anyone expected that it would get so popular. But is this game actually worth buying or is it just overhyped? I spent my fair share of time in Palworld and now it's time to look at what's really great about it and what improvements it needs to get in the future. You have to remember that when first Palworld trailer dropped, everyone thought it would be a meme and that it would be at least as bad as Lord of the Rings Gollum. But probably even more people thought that it would never be released, and rightfully so considering the fact how protective Nintendo is over its own IP. Because of all that, it was a shock that Palworld actually released and that it turned out to be really good. I'll say right off the bat that I'm having a really great time in this game, but before I explain why, let's talk about what Palworld really is. Of course, most people are comparing Palworld to Pokemon, and that's understandable. After all, this game is a monster catcher. One of the player's goals in it is to catch various creatures, trap them in spheres, train them, and learn more info about them. Of course, some of the creatures, aka pals, look similar to Pokemon, but I think that some look so similar not because the devs were lazy, but because they were designed to catch attention of Pokemon fans. Anyway, it's important that you know that Palworld has elements not just from Pokemon, you could say that it copies from the best. That's because it has elements from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Ark Survival Evolved, Elden Ring, and even Fortnite. You see, gameplay in Palworld isn't just Pokemon with guns. It puts strong emphasis on exploration just like Breath of the Wild, has boss fights like Elden Ring, and animations and camera placement like Fortnite. Also, it is a survival game like Ark. You need to make sure that you won't freeze to death and that neither you nor your pals will die from hunger. Also, while leveling your character up, you can discover new technology and use it to build and improve your base. Yes, Palworld has base building. Although Palworld clearly took from these games more than just inspirations, one can be hardly angry about it. That's because it puts its own spin on a lot of things from those games. What I love about it is how much freedom it gives you. You can treat your pals with love and respect, care about their well-being by feeding them, giving them a place to sleep in your base and more, or you can make them literal slaves, make them work to death and even butcher them. What's more, you can capture, butcher, use and sell as slaves not just pals but also human NPCs. Yes, but also it's worth noting that the game warns that it isn't very humane. Palworld also lets you breed pals to get new pals with better traits, upgrade pals by consuming duplicates of the same pals, and get new pals through hatching eggs. At least as of now, the game doesn't have evolutions, but through breeding you can get unique fusion pals. As you have seen in the trailers, at some point you can unlock firearms and even make your pals use them. But even before getting to all that, Palworld is fun. It has a lot to do with the fact that it has no minimap, so during gameplay you can focus not on the minimap, but what's actually around you. It gives a great sense of discovery. Every time I enter the game, I can't wait to get to the next undiscovered area and catch new pals I haven't seen before. What made Palworld so much fun for me? Well, I always loved Pokemon games. I loved Fire Red and Leaf Green, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, and their remakes, but the newer games were kind of boring to me. Although I completed Sword and Shield, I put down Violet less than 2 hours in because it was not only boring, it ran on Switch really badly. Palworld has a lot of things that I love about Pokemon, catching and training creatures, fighting with them, and exploration, but at the same time exploration in Palworld is better and you can do much more with caught creatures than in Pokemon. I also mentioned that there is base building, and this base building is really engaging and it stimulates creativity. Also, fighting with anyone is more engaging because you can't just stand there and command your pal. The pal will attack by itself You need to take care of your own ass, attack 2 and dodge attacks if you want to live through any fight yourself. Oh, and also in Palworld you can do this, this, and this. Of course, since Palworld is an early access game, it isn't perfect. There are some areas where it needs to be polished. First and foremost, it needs a story. Any story. Right now there simply isn't any. It also needs more human settlements and maybe at least one city, because right now the world of the game can feel a little bit empty. Palworld could also use some quality of life feature. Having to always hold down the craft button during crafting can be quite tiring. There are also some bugs to eliminate, but I haven't encountered as many of them as I expected. I should mention that Pocket Pair already released a roadmap for the game, so we know for sure that Palworld will get not only bug fixes but also more pals, AI improvements, PvP, raid bosses and more. I also have to say that this game has really nice graphics and it ran on my computer really well with no problems whatsoever. Okay, it's time to sum all this up and ask a really important question. Is Palworld really a Pokemon ripoff, as so many people like to claim? You can clearly see some similarities between the games, but I am not a lawyer and I do not represent either side. First of all, I don't know if these similarities are enough to say that Pocket Pair actually copied anything. Second of all, I am pretty sure that if Nintendo could actually hold anything against Palworld developers, they would go after them a long time ago. After all, everyone knows how overzealous Nintendo is when it comes to copyright infringement. Because all of this, from now on I am not going to put too much thought into all of this legal stuff. To me it matters the most that the game is good and that I bought something on Steam that is actually worth my money. Thanks for watching as always, bye bye!